Tennis news: Andy Murray nightmare, Roger Federer win, Garbine Muguruza horror injury. Andy Murray may need surgery to deal with a hip injury that has forced him to pull out of the Brisbane International. After being handed a first-round bye, Murray was due to face Ryan Harrison for a place in the quarter-finals but confirmed this morning that he was not fit enough to play in Brisbane. And, in an emotionally charged Facebook post, the Scot went on to say that he would make a decision this weekend on whether to play in the Australian Open, which starts on January 15th. Having played practice sets here in Brisbane with some top players, unfortunately this hasn't worked yet to get me to the level I would like, so I have to reassess my options, Murray wrote. Obviously continuing rehab is one option and giving my hip more time to recover. Surgery is also an option, but the chances of a successful outcome are not as high as I would like, which has made this my secondary option, and my hope has been to avoid that. However, this is something I may have to consider, but let's hope not. Roger Federer continued his preparation for his defense of the Australian Open crown with a routine win over Karen Khachanov. Playing in the Hopman Cup, a team event that has become Federer's customary season opener in Perth, the Swiss was broken in the opening game of the match, only to break back immediately. He hardly took a backwards glance after that moment, taking a 6-3, 7-6 win over the big serving Russian in front of a record crowd for the competition, with nearly 14,000 fans filling the Perth arena. "I think that's what keeps me on tour," Federer said. "If I had to play on the outside courts or stadiums that were not full at all, I think that passion would go away a bit, even though I love tennis and what I do." Garbine Muguruza will join the growing list of players whose fitness is a doubt for the Australian Open after collapsing on court in Brisbane. The Spaniard was serving with a 2-1 lead in the deciding final set against Alexandra Krunic when she collapsed in pain. The Wimbledon champion had been battling cramps from early in the second set, but on the advice of coach Sam Summick, carried on without retiring. She could go no further and was left sobbing on the baseline by the cramp that proved ultimately decisive. But Muguruza admitted she was somewhat surprised by the problems. "I cramp very few times," said Muguruza. "The last time I cramped up was actually at the Australian Open in Melbourne. Maybe it's the heat. Maybe it's the conditions. I don't know, but it's rare for me."